Doing great.
Nice. How was the weekend?
It was awesome.
It was awesome. We were in the month of October, and it's the month that we celebrate vegetarian. It's the vegetarians month. It is my month because I'm a vegetarian. Can you tell us a little bit about the vegetarian month and the different types of vegetarians? I know there's vegan and the whole lot. Can you tell us about that?
Okay, well, in general, vegetarians are people who do not eat the flesh of animals. That's a broad statement, and there are many different types of vegetarian. Nick mentioned earlier that I'm a teacher, and in school I teach basically 3 different types of vegetarianism. However, there are others to the list. So I'll start with the 3 that is taught in our schools, and then we move on outside of that. So the first one is, of course, Nick mentioned, I think, a vegan. And the vegans are what we call the strict vegetarians. They are the vegetarians who are strictly plant-based. So they do not eat any form of animal food nor products. Then we have the lacto-vegetarians. They are the vegetarians who would not eat the animal flesh, but they, however, will eat the products from the animals. So they would have things like meat, cheese, and so on. Then we have the lacto-ovo-vegetarians. And they, just as the lacto-vegetarians, will eat...
Hold. I don't think I get that one. The lacto what?
Ovo-vegetarians.
Lacto-o?
Ovo.
Ovo.
Yes.
Okay, so we heard about the vegans. The vegans type of vegetarians, they don't eat any flesh. We heard of the lacto-vegetarians, which don't eat flesh, but they use some of the products like the milk and cheese, etc. Now we're hearing about the ovo.
Yes.
Vegetarians. Okay, go ahead.
And simply all you're adding to the lacto-vegetarians from the ovo is the eggs. So the lacto-ovo will eat the animal products, including the eggs. Right? So these are the 3 that our children normally would be taught at school. However, there are other types. So we have the Presbyterians, we are the pseudo vegetarians. We also have Futarians. And when we talk about the Presbyterians, we are talking about vegetarians who would eat fish in addition to their plant-based diet. And of course we also have the fruitarians, and that should give you a clue.
That they eat mainly fruits?
Exactly.
Okay, great. Wow,
yes.
That's a lot of knowledge there. I didn't just realize there's so much different categories of vegetarians. Oftentimes we think as vegetarian as just one sort of category. It's like, it's either you're eating meat or you're not eating meat. You're a meat eater, you're not a meat eater. But now we're learning that when we're speaking about vegetarian, there are so many different types of vegetarians. So let me see where I fall in. Okay, let's not go into that right now. Great. Miss Pierre, thank you for that information on the various type of vegetarian, as we know that we're in the month of October and we are celebrating the month of vegetarians this month. Great.
Yeah.
Now, there's a lot of people out there that are eating meat, and they're probably interested in changing their diet around. Probably they would like to become one of those vegetarian that you list and defined a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
Now, can you give us a 5-day jumpstart challenge for people that are considering a different lifestyle, a different diet altogether, in becoming a healthier being?
Well, that's a tall order, but yes, I can.
Go ahead. I know you're not afraid of the challenges. By the way, before you go ahead, to the onlookers on Facebook right now, we say a pleasant evening to you, and thank you for joining us here at Magic FM.
Yes. So let's just talk in terms of vegetarian. If you want to transition to a vegetarian, there are certain things you want to do. You wouldn't just jump cold turkey into it, although you can, because I always advocate Meatless Monday, and that's a great way actually to jumpstart just your vegetarian diet.
I think that's an excellent start, by just trying the first day of the week, the working week, not omitting Sunday, but Monday, to just use it as, the first day to just try not eating meat alone. So that's an excellent way. Continue, please.
It is. So in terms of doing that, you want to gradually build up. So we can, first of all, if we can do some detoxing in relationship to just, instead of jumping cold turkey, like I said, into your challenge. And as Nick mentioned, challenge, I do know if those of you are following me on Facebook, you would know that we do have a Jumpstart to Your Better Body challenge going on, losing your belly fat. So, Nick, were you talking in relationship to that 5-day challenge?
Well, that as well. If you can intertwine both of them at once, because I believe it will help in bringing about a result of better body image and a healthier lifestyle altogether. So do as you please.
All right. Okay, if we're talking in terms of that 5-day challenge that we are actually going to have for preparation, I'm encouraging, of course, those of you who are on Facebook to join me in that challenge, and also the radio listeners, you can join by going on to SOW, S-O-W, Seeds of Wellness. And in that, what we'll do, of course, we're going to do a detox test, a toxicity test. And this is a test which will really show you how much how far your body is in relationship to its toxicity level. And based on that, we will decide how you go forth in terms of what you need to do, and so on. So just briefly, because of the time, so you do a detox test. Then, of course, you want to take your weight, take some measurement. I have my measuring tape here. So sometimes folks say, I'm doing all these things, but I'm not losing any weight at all. And maybe you're not seeing you're losing weight. Maybe you're putting on muscle, which is excellent. But you can gauge your health engagement by, of course, using a measuring tape.
And the Spirit does have her measuring tape in the studio. Great. For those of you that are just joining us, thank you for choosing Magic Radio. We are talking health with Ms. Joslyn Pierre, and she has given us a brief highlight in how we can jumpstart a body change in terms of looking at different health mechanisms. She just spoke about detoxing and measuring along the way in terms of how you would decrease body fat and belly fat, etc. Please continue, Ms. Pierre.
Okay, I've seen a question here, and it says, will that tell us, the detox test, will it tell us what to eat? And the detox test would tell you your level of toxicity. But I will give you some guidelines in relationship to what I received from that detox test. But in speaking quickly in relationship to what we eat, now some folks think that when you're going on any special diet or so, you want to eliminate, and they would say, oh my, you can't eat this, you can't eat that. Well, what am I to eat? And so I like to say we are not eliminating, but what we're doing is that we are crowding out with good foods. So we're going to be crowding out a couple of things on that 5-day challenge. And I'm going to start first with what you can have. So these are some things, that special little things that you can have. Of course, you have a whole host of fruit and vegetables that you can use.
So we're speaking food now. We're speaking about the different various type of food that we should include if we are to take up a 5-day challenge in getting the result of a better body.
Yes.
And also enjoying a greater health.
Excellent,
Okay,
yes.
so can you go ahead and list some of those foods?
So just a couple. Your pineapples is a good one to have. Pawpaw, avocado is a good one to have. In addition to that, we cannot talk about losing belly fat without not talking about apple cider vinegar. I know a lot of you out there know it and you sometimes take it. So we're going to include your apple cider vinegar, a little bit of honey in that challenge, some lemon, and turmeric, or what we call saffron. So these are some of the special food you want to have on hand. Apart from, of course, you are open to all your greens. All the greens, you can use that. And this is what we're crowding out these foods now. So we're having all these things and we're crowding out sugar. Right?
Okay, so we want to get rid of sugar and we want to get more of the natural food, more of the vegetables and the fruits.
Yes, because you can get your sugar from your fruits.
Right, you can get those natural sugar.
Exactly.
Okay, great. Why wouldn't we want to use the organic or the preserved sugar?
Because of the chemicals. And again, I will send you to my page. There's a video I have inside my group which speaks specifically to sugar. Great. And the damage it does to our body.
Well, tell us the page that we need to visit so we can look at that video.
So if you get into my group that sows Seeds of Wellness, you would find that video there.
And that's on Facebook?
That's on Facebook, yes.
Great, Ms. Pierre. Let me ask you this. I realized that we spoke of detoxing the body and we under the subject of a 5-day jumpstart to experiencing a better body, losing belly fat and all the excessive fat on the body and enjoying our own being, enjoying greater food. And yeah, we can say greater food because we just learning that, the natural foods are better than the preserved foods.
Much better.
So we understand that the detox and the food variation would help. Now, can you tell us, are there any ways that we can use different form of exercising to help in achieving that goal of a better looking body and enjoying a better health? And what type of exercises would you recommend if there are any?
Okay, again, you're not limited to any form of exercise. I always say you do exercises that you are comfortable with. But for those who are extremely inactive, you want to start, of course, with some stretches. So you will do that. If you are someone that loves swimming, swimming is an excellent form of exercising, and it incorporates all your body muscles. And of course, the walking is an excellent one. A little bit of jogging if you're up to that also. And of course, you can find a whole range of exercises on any one of the YouTube channels.
So there's no limitation to what exercise you do?
No limits at all.
But you encourage people that they should engage themselves in some form of exercising?
Must get engaged in some form of exercising, even if it's just for 5 minutes. Even if you don't have the time when you're at work, for those of us who out working, there are things that you can engage yourself in. The way you bend down, the way you pick up something, all this would involve exerting some form of energy and can burn calories also.
Great, and it helps you with your posture. So nice. So we learn here the use of detoxing, deriving and obtaining that new goal in body look. We learn of the various types of vegetarians and the type of food that they eat, how they are defined.
Nicola, just to go back to the crowding out and the type of food. So we talk about crowding out sugar. I also want us to crowd out caffeine, alcohol, and gluten or wheat. So
why should we try to decrease on the use of caffeine and wheat and so on? Why? I mean, to some of us, some of us are even addicted to it. Why would we want to, crowd it out?
These are inflammatory foods.
Okay.
Yes, they interfere with your digestion.
Okay, when you say inflammatory food, break that down for us, because we have a wide listenership, and I want to ensure that everybody understand and get the best out of this little chat here. Okay,
simply speaking, let me see how I can break that down. If we're talking about inflammatory food, it's food that will create issues for you in terms of your digestion. It will create bloating for you. First, it's food that will help you to put on weight. For example, the wheat, having too much of that creates issues in your stomach. So, Nicholas, I don't get it.
I think you have answered us. You have answered us. Thank you. Yeah, so now I understand why I should get rid of some of these food. Obviously, because they are seen as unhealthy.
Yes, I want to speak to one thing again. In terms of the inflammatory, in terms of the hormones, for instance, when we're talking about weight loss, there is some of this food, it induces cortisol, which definitely helps to increase your body weight. And in addition to that, caffeine, with the cravings, it will continue the craving. So you want to crowd out all of those.
Great.
Yes.
Once again, if you're just joining us, we're live on Magic FM, the Magic Frequency, Magic 103.3, 88.9, and of course 957. I'm your studio DJ Platinum, and in my company this evening, I have none other than Ms. Joslyn P., also known as Ms. Joslyn Fari. She's a well-known food and nutritionist, and we're speaking Health Grenada. Today we are looking at a 5-day challenge to jumpstart a new body look. We looking at decreasing on belly fat.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we decreasing on belly fat, and looking at the different foods that we can enjoy through that challenge in obtaining a better image look and also a better health. Miss Farry, Miss Pierre, if I may call you.
Anyone is, they're all mine.
Great. How does breathing contribute to deriving at that particular body look? Because we speak in health, breathing, can it have an effect if we was to, because we spoke about exercising, so how does breathing play a part?
Breathing plays a major part. One, it helps with detoxing. And two, it helps with sleeping. And these are two things that contribute to weight loss. So, if you, again, I'm going to send you...
Stick a pin right here before you send us anywhere. Why sleep? Why would we want to sleep? Why would we want to get rest? If we are on that journey to improving our image and our health altogether, why sleep? I don't understand. I'm probably thinking that I should be up and down all day, all night, trying to burn calories. Why would I want to sleep?
As you sleep, you release hormones, one, that will help, again, the body to digest your food properly. In addition to that, it helps, sleeping also helps with the weight loss.
Okay, great.
Yes.
So now I understand. Sleeping plays a very important role in digestion. So the food that we eat, we need it
and
to
your
be
hormones
and our hormones.
Yes.
Great. How about meditation?
How
about meditation? Let's get a bit technical here. We're not going to go sleeping now. How about just meditating? Huh? How would that play a part on the body in terms of improving that health that we would like to obtain?
All the things you're talking about speaks to your health. Breathing, even in your meditation, you can involve breathing there. And so every bit of the meditation helps with your relaxation. And I remember I mentioned on this program about relaxation before.
How about yoga? Would you recommend that we try yoga? We're talking about losing belly fat. We're talking about improving health, we're talking about exercising, we're talking about detoxing, we're talking about the various diets that you mentioned, the various type of vegetarians and so on. Can yoga play a part? I mean, you did mention that we must not limit ourselves to the types of exercising that we may conduct along this journey. I'm thinking, I'm big, I'm fat, I don't want to be running up and down the places yet. I probably just want to stay in a nice quiet room and find myself